Welcome to this comprehensive tutorial where today we'll delve into the fascinating world of 2D shadows and lighting effects in Java. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced developer, this tutorial will provide you with a robust understanding of how to enhance your 2D graphics with realistic shadows and lighting. Let's start by setting up our development environment. If you haven't already, make sure you have Java Development Kit, JDK, installed on your machine. You can download it from the official Oracle website. Next, we're going to use the Java Swing library, which is ideal for crafting GUI applications. After you have your JDK installed, let's create a new Java project in your favorite IDE. I will be using IntelliJ IDEA. Once you have your project set up, create a new Java class named Lighting Demo. This will be the core class for our application. In the main method, we need to set up a JFrame, which will be our application window. Here's how you can do that. Import the required classes and then create a JFrame instance. Now, let's add a JPanel to the JFrame. This panel will be where we draw our shapes and implement our lighting effect. We will extend the JPanel class and override the paint component method. Next, we need to add our lighting panel to the JFrame. Update the main method to create an instance of lighting panel and add it to the JFrame. At this point, we have created a basic window structure with a panel. Now, let's move to our river scene and lighting effects. First, let's add a simple rectangle and pin for lights. I'll show you how to draw the rectangle. This code will draw a blue rectangle in the center of the panel. Refresh your JFrame, and you should see this blue rectangle. Now let's work towards implementing the lighting effect for this rectangle. For the lighting effects, we can use the Graphics 2D class, which allows us more control over shapes, colors, and transparency. To achieve this, we first need to cast our graphics object to Graphics 2D inside the paint component method. Next, let's add a radial gradient to give our blue rectangle the illusion of lighting. We can use the gradient paint class to create this effect. By using the gradient paint, we establish a transition from white to blue vertically across the rectangle, simulating light. Refresh your application, and you should now see your colored rectangle transitioning from white to blue. Fantastic! Now, let's discuss how to implement shadows for the rectangle we just created. To do that, we will create a similar rectangle but with a darker color. This will give us the illusion of a shadow beneath our main shape. The code above creates a semi-transparent black rectangle that sits slightly offset from the main blue rectangle. This is our shadow. Let's adjust its position slightly. Now you should see a shadow effect under the blue rectangle, adding depth to your scene. This brings us to one of the key aspects of 2D graphics, understanding how to blend multiple shapes together to create lifelike effects. Next, let's go ahead and add some simulated light sources and further enhance our shadow. We can do this by introducing circles that represent light sources in our graphics. Positioning the light sources strategically can help create stronger shadows and highlights. You can adjust their colors and opacity similarly to how you did the shadows. At this point, the addition of the light sources should create a more dynamic scene. You should see bright spots where the lights are placed, enhancing our originally flat shapes significantly. Now, let's implement a function to animate the lighting effects. To achieve this, we can use a timer to create movement in our light sources. First, we will declare our variables outside the paint component method. Next, we will update the position of our light source in the timer's actionPerformed method. Here's how you can set this up. The above code will move the light source up and down in the designated area of the panel. Each time the timer ticks, it will trigger a repaint of the component, allowing the light to move fluidly. With the timer implemented, our light sources should now create an animated effect, enhancing the overall dynamics of the scene. The illumination will shift as the light moves, changing how the shadows fall. Remember to test your application frequently to see how the animations look. The movement of lights significantly changes the quality and appeal of what you're creating. Now that we have a functional animation in place, let's wrap this up by summarizing what we've accomplished. Today, we set up a basic Java application, created a rectangle and added lighting effects, implemented shadows, and even added animating light sources. For additional projects, think about how these techniques could be used in games or simulations. The concepts of light and shadow are foundational in game design and can significantly enhance user experience. Thank you for joining me on this journey into 2D graphics in Java. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more insightful tutorials. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, leave them in the comments below.